Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Makal Kodesh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, the true leaders of Israel today. And salutations to all of the Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, who risk their lives and their freedom to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds who are Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai. And the Lord's only chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as were the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Yakalil, and this video is about the judgment that is coming from Yahweh Shemishai upon the heathen. All right. And, it's inspired by these Doomsday Bunkers that are trending right now, and there's something that have come up many times before. I remember on certain television shows that they actually had like an entire episode dedicated to these underground bunkers for when certain things occur, right? Preparation for war and any other thing that they deem dangerous, where they would feel the need to flee to these underground bunkers. Contingency plans, if you want to, contingency plans, if you want to call it that. Let me see, contingency plan, right? And this is something, or rather a luxury, quote unquote luxury, for the upper elites of this world, right? Because these underground bunkers are not cheap, right? It requires a lot of resources in order to maintain them, live in them, all kinds of things, right? So contingency plan, a plan designed to take account of a possible future event or circumstance. All right, so a contingency plan, right? This is the contingency plan for many of the elites of this world, those who have money, starting with, but not limited to, the celebrities, and then other people who have just accumulated great amounts of wealth within this world, those that are billionaires, right? It's mostly billionaires that you hear about with these underground bunkers that they're developing, or even multi-millionaires. You have millionaires of the 10 millions, the 100 millions, stuff like that. And the topic has come to a forefront recently because of Mark Zuckerberg, who is he's the Facebook, right? The Facebook founder. It says it there, Doomsday Bunker under Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg's Hawaii estate. Here's what Meta CEO has to say. Okay. Right. And then they're talking about these doomsday bunkers, but I believe in the article he somewhat refutes the claim of a doomsday bunker and wants to just simply call it just a little shelter, right? A survival shelter, but it's really a doomsday bunker, right? That's what it's intended for, right? And then, in the television show American Horror Story, they had a season called Apocalypse. And, this is how you know that the elite of Esau Edom, who are the so-called white people, right? The wicked elite of Esau Edom, they know the scriptures, right? And they know that what we prophesy about the scriptures is true and will come to pass. And so they know about the destruction of America, which is Mystery Babylon the Great. And in Revelation chapter 18, it talks about that America will be destroyed in 1 hour. And in that show, American Horror Story, they show you the very first episode of Apocalypse. It starts off where the woman, she gets a phone call from her parents saying that the missiles are heading towards America. And then I think even before that, they hear the sirens, right? There are sirens going off that missiles are approaching America. And then she gets a phone call and they tell her that, we have this contingency plan for such event to happen. We're about to perish. But, if you go ahead and you follow this contingency plan, then you will be able to escape the missiles and all that. And she came from the elite super rich. So even within that show, I believe 100% that it did say like in 1 hour, right? They only have 1 hour before the missiles hit, which correlates with Bible scripture, right? And then, you know, the land of America is destroyed in certain kinds of ways. But then, the show continues on where it's revealed that they survived because of the underground bunkers. Now, that is not the reality of the situation. Yes, it is indeed true. It is written in Revelation chapter 18, right? It talks about the destruction and the judgment of America, right? Revelation 18 and verse 1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, which is America, is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul sight, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. And if you read Isaiah chapter 13, it will let you know the same thing. America is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear fire, and then it will not be inhabited, and certain creatures will, it says it at the end of Isaiah 13. And when I say uninhabited, it's not going to be inhabited by people anymore, but it will have such things as it mentions in the scriptures here, and then in Revelation, not the Revelation, but Isaiah 13 at the end of it, right? And it says, For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Because that final plague that will be hitting America will be the ICBM missiles, which will destroy America by way of thermonuclear fire. But before America is destroyed, Yahushua will return. Right? And before Yahushua returns, the mark of the beast prophecy, which is the microchip, will come to pass. Why? Because there's a judgment for our people, the 2/3 in America, that will be destroyed. Right? They will have to face the thermonuclear fire for taking the microchip. Right? And Yahushua, when he returns, he will be delivering the elect of the nation of Israel, the 1/3 out of America. Right? So the mark of the beast prophecy has to come first before the end of World War III and the deliverance of the elect of the nation of Israel. And here it is. This is the elect of the nation of Israel that will be delivered from the plagues of America. Okay? And it says, For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh Shemishai hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord Yahweh Shemishai who judgeth her. All right. And I want to go to the point further down. Oh, I literally just read it. All right. Salakia, Revelation 18 and verse 10, standing afar off for fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, which is America, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is that judgment come, right? So within 1 hour, everything that Esau, Edom has built is going to be torn down, man. Okay? And with that, when Yahushua delivers the elect of the nation of Israel, then comes judgment for the heathen, starting with Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, right? So you have many of these elite Edomites and heathen who are building these doomsday bunkers, but it's all to none avail, right? Because yes, America will be destroyed by thermonuclear fire, but in that television show, as I was mentioning before, people survived in America because of these doomsday bunkers, and then they continue to live life, and then whatever other madness they showed in the television show. But certain parts of truth Esau Edom puts out there, right? But the reality of the situation is this: America's going to be destroyed by thermonuclear fire, and all of those that are in the land of America that are not the elect of the nation of Israel, as only Israelites can be saved, as salvation is only for us, they're just going to be burnt up and perish. Point blank, period. Okay? And so some of the elite, the uber elites, they know about is going to happen to America. And some of them choose to have their bunkers in other places around the world, not in the land of America, right? And then you have those who are less, they're still elite but still poorer. They will be in America, they'll just be destroyed. But you have others that will be in certain places, and the scriptures say that they will be. All right, in Revelation chapter 6, all right, where to start? Revelation chapter 6 and verse 13. And the stars of heaven fell upon the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind, right? And those stars are the missiles, because when you look at them from a distance, when you're at ground zero, up in the sky, they look like a star coming down, right? And remember, the prophets described things as they knew how to describe them in those times. ICBM missiles didn't exist in those times. Okay? So, and it says, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places, right? Because when the missiles are hitting, it's going to create a great earthquake. Okay? The impact of it all. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every freeman, hid themselves in the dens, and in the rocks, and of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb, right? Who sits on the throne? Yahweh. And from the wrath of the Lamb, who is Yahushai, because Yahushai will be here, right? At that moment, his presence will be, he'll be in his godlike form, right? At that moment, right? For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand, right? Only the elect of the nation of Israel will be able to stand by the mercies of Yahweh Shemishai, right? But the judgment is coming, and they are going to be hiding, man. But none can escape the judgments of Yahweh Shemishai, okay? And in Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 19, it says, and they shall go into the holes of the rocks and into the caves of the earth for the fear of the Lord Yahweh, and for the glory of his majesty when he ariseth to shake terribly the earth, right? That is the judgment. That's the day, man, when Yahushua returns, right? America is destroyed by thermonuclear fire. The elect of the nation of Israel are delivered from America before that destruction, and the rest of the elect will be saved from the four corners of the earth. And you're going to have these uber elite heathen Edomites and whatever else, man, who will have these bunkers of sorts all around the world that they'll be hiding, man, right? And in America, well, I already said it, and if the ones in America that are in America just gonna be perished, they can't escape that there, but others around the world will be hiding, but what's gonna happen to them? Because when Yahushua returns, the heathen are going into slavery, right? And the scripture says in Revelation chapter 13 and verse 10, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So, as it is done, so as it is written, so it shall be done, right? And all of these heathen are going into slavery because a part of our blessing, the promise given unto us by Yahweh Shemishai, is that we will be the complete and utter rulers, and all nations will bow down to us. That's a blessing that was given unto Jacob, right? Who is Israel, right? And then these these uber elites especially, let me see if it's here, right? Psalms 149 and verse 5, let the saints be joyful in glory. Who are the saints? The Israelites, us. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of Yahweh Shemishai be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen, and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written, this honor have all his saints, praise ye the Lord, right? So, the heathen are going to be our slaves, man, right? And that's just what's going to happen when Yahushua returns. And then there's a judgment for Esau, Edom, after the 1,000 years, which can be read about in Obadiah verse 18. Okay, and I believe also Isaiah 14 and 21. And also in the book of Job, right? The judgment of the Edomites, which they will no longer exist after the 1,000 years of hard slavery that they will have to face. So for all of those Edomites and those heathen, that escape America, those uber elite and rich that have their bunkers and whatever else that escape America, I mean, y'all just going to be the first fruits of slavery in the kingdom. Those first slaves to bear what it is that you'll have to bear. And this is a righteous thing by Yahweh Shemishai. All right? Because all things that are done by Yahweh Shemishai are righteous. Okay? All the judgments that are coming, everything. So, yeah, man, with that, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemishai, Bashim Kodesh. Shalom.